How's it going, everybody? Johnny Styles here with the Wellness Observer Live. Thank you so much for following the Wellness Observer Live, your number one source for all things wellness. I decided for once, for twice, or maybe third time that I've done this live with you guys so you guys can see the realness behind it, because we're going to be talking about the predictions for the 2023 Pro Olympia lineup. I know there's been talks of changes in the top 4, top 5, top 6, and I told you guys since the very beginning of the year that probably that top 5 was going to change drastically. That top 10 was going to change drastically since we last saw the 2022 Olympia. Obviously, a couple competitors have dropped out, including Nerilde Garcia, which she had an injury, and I posted it earlier this morning. It's so sad, to be prepping an entire year. It happened the same thing to Nick Walker. So we are going to be counting down the girls. I'm going to be showing you pictures, and I'm going to be talking about, what I think is going to happen, because usually I'm pretty darn good with these predictions, because you guys also know me as the Nostradamus of wellness. So we're going to start off real quick with the dark horses, okay? Because the dark horses in this, in this class, it could be, tricky, because some of these girls are really, really good. Starting with, I got these 4 girls here. All these 4 girls are what I consider to be dark horses. Of course, you got Marissa Andrews, you got Lily Dong, you got Elisa there from the Dominican Republic, which is really, really, really good. And then you got Lisa Mainwinkle, I think it's her last name. I don't know, I'm saying pretty much the same name in the end. But all these 4 girls are very good. I saw Marissa at Tampa. She looked really good. If I was a judge, I didn't know exactly what to tell her that went wrong, because I really liked her physique right there. Elisa, she is from the Dominican Republic. A lot of people don't know about her, but she's complete all around. Aesthetically, I don't know what's going to happen, because remember, you got to bring the entire package. And that includes hair, makeup, the whole 9 yards. But, structurally speaking, she can, squeeze in there as a dark horse. Lisa is another one that's, she's very pretty. But her conditioning hasn't always been the best. So we got to see which Lisa shows up. And then last but not least, Lily Dong has walked out on this year with 2 pro wins. And again, Lily has been improving. I remember when Lily was super tiny, and she's been growing by leaps and bounds. But again, this is the Olympia. This is still bodybuilding in a way, so size does matter. All of these 4 girls can absolutely jump in to the show depending on the conditioning of the other top 10 that I think will make the top 10. So we gotta wait and see who's gonna show up in what shape. Remember, again, somebody usually messes up their last day of prep or the last hours, and they're not at 100%. So we gotta wait and see. So let's see, on top 10, let's see, who do I have in my top 10? I'm gonna put a picture of this person, of each of the girls, and then we're gonna talk about them. Placing in at number 10, I have Alexis Adams. Alexis won this show, the Samson Showdown, which wasn't a very, hard-fought battle, but it wasn't her fault, really. You can't control who shows up at the shows. She went in there, and a lot of, the storyline here with her and a couple of the girls that are going to talk about is that as they won the show, they were not as big, they were not as hard as a OG pro wellness girl, but after they won the shows, they've been working hard and they've been pushing the limit to get better, to get bigger, to get harder, to get fuller, just filling all these gaps. Alexis still has plenty of time, plenty of years ahead to keep developing her body. Her posing is really good. Judges like her look, her presentation, the whole thing. So I believe that when you put the package all together, I think that she can probably squeeze in that top 10. Again, the size factor, we got to see how she stacks up against other girls. But in my point of view, I think she can make the top 10. So next up is something interesting here. Number 9 and number 8, I put them together because not only they train together, but I believe those two spots can interchange because their bodies are so similar. We got Tephanie and we got Tephanie Theo, both of them who not only have trained together, but they have like similar hardness, similar structure, similar body-wise. They look really good, especially when they're training together. Again, both of them are girls that have improved from their shows. I remember when I saw Tephanie won in Miami, I saw her right there. I was dead center behind the judges, and I told her straight up, you look great, but you know, you're not as big, you're not as hard as you should be if you're going to the Olympia. And let me tell you guys one thing. She did not take it like lightly. She has gone into the gym, and month after month, not only has she gotten bigger, but she has been getting harder every single time. So I'm very impressed with the amount of muscularity that she brings up. Those feathered quads are insane. Tephanie Theo, month after month, she's been putting her pictures out there, and she's been showing the world that she's not afraid of showing her body. Which again, some of the other competitors, they're not showing enough. She doesn't care. She shows up every single month, with every single week with pictures. So since these two girls are very, very much alike in a way, that 8th and that 9th and 10th and 8th spot, they can switch. You know, they can intercalate. I would love to see them together. That's how we're gonna know, you know, who's ahead of who. So those two girls, I have them in 9th and 8th. Now let's go to number 7 in my prediction showdown for the Olympia lineup. At number 7, we got none other than Cassandra Gillis. I know she is Miss International. I know her body has gone through changes. I know she looks bigger in her legs, in her glutes, and her hamstrings have looked tremendously. She's got great calves. You guys know that ever since I saw her at the Olympia time, I like her a lot. And I believe her posing still needs a little bit of work. And she's going to have her hands full in this lineup. Again, she can squeeze her weight in because she's a little bit taller and a little bit bigger than other girls that I've mentioned. But again, this is the Olympia, and this is the best of the best. I believe that 6th, 7th place is a good sweet spot for Cassandra Gillis, especially when she's going against, you know, one to the 4th best athletes in the world of the professional wellness league in the world. So that's it. Next up, I have somebody that I really did not have until very, very recent. And it took me a little bit. But Lira is in this call out. Absolutely. She is a little bit, kind of has the same structurally physique as Cassandra, taller, longer, but I've seen her in shape in this conditioning, especially from the back. She is lights out. I would love to see Lira next to Cassandra Gillis so you guys can, so me and the entire world can see exactly how they look. As you see here, these glutes are round, they're full, there's teardrop, the abductors are on point, the calves can get better. But again, if you look at her completely from head to toe, she's very, very complete and very, very good on stage. When she's one of those competitors that, again, when you see them in the lineup, your eyes go to them. Competitors like her, Cassandra, Giselle Machado, they're a little bit taller, so your eyes kind of wander a little bit. But again, I didn't have her in my predictions a month ago, but after reviewing the lineup, I definitely have to have her in there. Next up, I've been talking about this girl for the entire year, and I've told you guys many, many times, please do not let her off your radar. Leonie, last year she surprised the world, and this year she can shock the world. This girl has it all, okay? She has no missing body parts, no missing stage presentations. She's very pretty, very good on stage, very graceful on stage, very full, hard. She has everything. Honestly, this girl, remember, after this, all I have is Brazilians and of course, or girls from Latin America, but she is she's not from Latin America, and she does present the class well. She has great balance, especially in her upper body next to her lower body. So I liked her a lot last year in that lineup, especially in that first call out. Then now on this year, she has improved dramatically. And after reviewing what we have, I assure you, she should be right there in that top 5 nonetheless. Coming in at number 4, I have none other than Miss Pittsburgh and Miss New York, Giselle Machado, which it's very interesting because I love Giselle's body. I love her shape. I love her structure. She is very pretty, gracefully posing on stage. She has, again, no missing body parts, and she looks better than ever. She is going to have to do battle with, of course, Ryan Fogal, Isa Pereira Nunez, and of course, Franciele Matos. Those top 4, currently the 4 pillars of professional wellness. And I believe that, it's going to be hard for the judges. It's going to be really hard for them to understand that these girls have it all, really, no missing body parts. So I think it's going to be a battle between who's off. Because, if for some reason Ryan or Isa or Franciele is off, then this whole thing changes. Coming in at number 3, I have my one and only, the only athlete in the world that has broken the 5-star rating review, star styles rating review. Ryan Fogal, of course, after seeing her in Tampa, not only was I blown away, the entire world, it was like lights out. There was no competition for her. Even the judges, I could see the judges just looking at her like, what is this specimen on stage? And trust me, that was the very best package I've ever seen in my life in person. Okay? So some people believe that her shoulders are a little bit bigger. They're, structurally, she can, throw off a little bit. I digress, absolutely. I don't think that her shoulders are too big. It's just body composition, right? Again, you cannot compare Isa and Franciele because they're so different at the same time compared to a Giselle Machado and a Ryan Fogal. If it was my way, I would love to see Franciele and Ryan and then the entire lineup. But who knows? Again, this is so tight that this can change by 1 point. So the reason I have her in 3rd, now I have her in 2nd, is, of course, Isa Pereira Nunez, because I've seen her the entire year. She has missed the entire year due to a knee injury, and she's been traveling back and forth, seeing doctors, training. She's been keeping consistent. She has grown, okay? People say, oh, Isa is smaller. That's BS. If you see her in person, you know that the amount of muscle per square inch on her body is tremendous. After she posted this picture, I would say people are going to run because I have never, and I remember, I've seen Isa since the very beginning. And I've seen her evolve into what she has done right now. And boy, oh boy, this has been the hardest and biggest I've seen Isa Pereira Nunez. And you got to be really careful when an athlete is number 2 in the world and an athlete is, behind the champ. That's what happens many years to Jay Cutler following Ronnie Coleman. She's very hungry. And not only does she want that title, she wants to represent the class worldwide. She's amazing. And hey, she's also on a Miss International. So she's won the Arnold and she has that title under her belt. So we got to wait and see. Of course, that leaves us with the reigning, defending world champ, Franciele Matos, which hasn't competed the entire year as Miss Olympia. I believe, again, she has improved her lower body. Again, her upper body is one that you can't really compare unless you have Isa Pereira Nunez right there and with her. I believe that if you put Ryan next to Franciele, you would see some interesting things. But that's going to be up for the judges to find out tomorrow. Again, the 4 pillars right now, Franciele, Isa, Giselle Machado, and Ryan Fogal, all those 4, I really believe that if things go the way they should go, those 4 are pretty much against each other. And those 4 are going to be battling. They can move them around. I hope they move them around, because that's what people want to see. We want to see each other. Want to see Giselle next to Franciele, or Isa next to Ryan. Like, all these girls, number one, have calves. Okay, hashtag calf matter. And number two, they are structurally similar. The only one that's, in a weird way is Franciele, because it's a little bit smaller in the upper body. But again, it's apples and oranges, really. But none of these girls have shown us that they can come in off. So it's a matter of who's going to come off. Then that person jumps into the other person's slot. So that's going to do it for my prediction. That's top 10. Thank you so much for joining me. Over 100 people live here at the Wellness Olympia Live. I will be in Orlando. I will be sharing with you guys a play-by-play, pictures, the whole 9 yards. And hopefully we get some good interviews and we get some good things lining up on the Wellness Olympia Live. Keep it locked here. Let me know what you guys think about the predictions. If you follow me, let me know. Again, Leonie, I think, is going to be, a shocker to a lot of people. Lira is going to be a shocker to some people because they haven't seen her in America as much as we follow her internationally. And then again, the other girls that I have, Tephanie, Danny, they're young girls coming up. But again, when you're doing the Olympia and the Arnold, these are the biggest shows in the world. And I think still bodybuilding is about size a little bit. So again, those top 4 girls have a lot of good mass and a lot of good, conditioning. And it's just something about that, especially when you turn them from the back. It's going to be really interesting. Remember, when Giselle Machado competed in Pittsburgh and New York, it was lights out. When Ryan Fogai competed in Tampa, it was lights out. Nobody was even close to Ryan or Giselle on their respective shows. So, with that in mind, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Hit me up, and I'll keep you guys updated as I go to Orlando. Let's do this.